quick announcement before we get into this video. I'm Amir. I run Bernardo's weekly Q&A and discussion membership group with realityinmind.com. And next week, Tuesday, the 8th of July, 2025, we're doing a special meeting with Bernardo about artificial intelligence, agentic AI, and the future of civilization. That's Tuesday, the 8th of July. And you can join that if you're a member of With Reality in Mind, which you can find at withrealityinmind.com, or you can join this special one-off event with the link we'll put in the description below. So this following excerpt is from a previous meeting where we got a sneak preview into some of Bernardo's thoughts about the impact artificial intelligence is likely to have on human civilization.
This is coming in our lifetimes. AI, either it will drive us to extinction, which is a possibility, or it will put us in a situation where the most popular distraction away from the unique telos of each of our lives is off the table. And that distraction is labor, the need to earn a living. It's what we all use with good reason, very good reason. And that's why it's such a powerful excuse, because it's imbued with truth. It's a narrow truth, but it is true that if you don't earn a living, you're screwed. So we have to earn a living. But we then overuse that as an excuse to completely ignore what nature is actually trying to do through us. We keep ourselves busy. Also in associated ways. It's not only the 8 to 12 hours we are at work, it's the hours after work in which we tell ourselves, oh, I had a tough day, so I need to relax. I need to watch reality television, or I need to have a good meal, or I need to play a game, and because tomorrow I have to go to work again. So it ends up that everything goes around the need to make a living, which translates into what do I need to do to stay alive? But then we fail to ask the question, what am I alive for? And we have a perfect excuse to not ask the latter question. We have to stay alive. And we never ask what we stay alive for. And work allows us to have this distraction with very good reason. With AI in 20 years, if we don't annihilate ourselves, everybody is on a fat universal basic income. And now we will have to figure out what it is all about, what we are alive for. Because now to stay alive, to make a living, it's no longer an all-consuming issue. And there will be more than a few suicides. It will bring the responsibility to live an examined life squarely to our faces. People will not be able to hide from it anymore. Of course, the answers are somewhat obvious. There are at least 3. Art, philosophy, and interpersonal relationships. What you could call even fun or love. But these 3 categories, and what is the mixture for each one of us that's unique to each one of us. But I think we've come to a point that we are not sensitive to the obvious anymore. I think a lot of people will be completely lost when they wake up in the morning and they don't have to go to work, and the fridge is full and the roof is above their heads, and there is money in the bank. What now? More than a few millionaires have gone nuts on this. Drugs, suicide, and now 8 billion. Maybe 8 billion minus a small amount of engineers who have to keep the infrastructure going. We will have to face that. And this is in your lifetime. our lifetime. Everybody, I don't see anybody in their 90s here. So it's in our life. It's in our lifetime. This is happening, and it's coming with a speed that is dizzying. Last night, I can't say, but what AI does today, the average person on the street would not believe. It can't be deployed. The thing just consumes an incredible amount of power and requires an incredible amount of money. So you can't make that accessible to everybody. But what is cooking now is that AGI is around the corner. Super intelligence is around the corner, not consciousness, mind you, but intelligence, you bet. So either we will exterminate ourselves. AI is a tool. We use the tools to kill ourselves. The same goes for nuclear weapons. Or we will be having to face the biggest terror, which is if you don't need to earn a living, what do you live for? What do you do when you wake up in the morning? When you put your left and then your right foot on the floor and you stretch your knees and you stand up. And then, what now? This is one of the most horrific questions for the average human being. It's the most discombobulating question there is. And if the average human being, you guys are not average, if the average human being would be listening to me right now, they may even concur with me conceptually, but they don't really grok it. They will only grok it when it is happening for more than a few months. In the first month, it will be great. Oh, I don't need to go to work. Great, let's go play ping pong. Let's go to the beach. Let's hike in the mountains. Let's go kayaking. I'll talk to friends. Let's go have a beer. That will be the first months. And then we will see. It will be like a super fast course on maturity for the whole of the human species, only a few years down the road. These are very exciting times. I'm very happy I was born in 1974. It's like square in the middle of all this. I was born and Federico Faggin was designing the Z80 as I was being born and founding Zilog. He founded Zilog a couple of weeks after I was born. And home computer revolution of my youth. And then later on, the internet changed the world. Now AI is changing the world all over again. And then some people will say, well, but that's history, right? Things have always changed. Goethe, towards the end of his life, he would, there's a Dutch word, mopperen. Karin, how do I say mopperen in English? When you're complaining, like
grumbling,
grumbling
a bit, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah. So even Goethe was grumbling like an old man, like the world was much better in my time. Now everything is different. All these changes, the July Revolution of 1830 was playing out, and he was 81 years old. He was 49, 1749. 81. But now it's different. And some people cynically will say, well, at every point in history, everybody thinks now it's really different. Like when Rome fell, the end of a whole civilization, the civilization took 1,000 years to recover from the sacking of Rome. Actually, the decline of the Roman Empire was going on for decades before that. But anyway, and people would say that now this is really special. And here we are saying it's really special now. No. This time it really is. This time it really is absolutely unique. It will be the very first time there will be something around whose growth and expansion is not limited by biology, which will not be more creative than us, but will be a lot smarter. a lot smarter. Not creative. Human output is still needed to train AIs. Even if you create synthetic data, you still need to train the AIs that create synthetic data. So at the end, you're back to human creativity anyway. But the amplifying effect of AI on human creativity will be so discombobulating, it will look like there is another species on the planet. And this will be a change like never before. And there is no walking back from this either. We are in, talking about playing the game with abandon. This is the time to play the game with abandonment, because the moves that are coming on the board are it is mind-boggling stuff. Mind-boggling stuff.
Wow.
Hopefully this is encouraging.
Look,
Harry, we can kill ourselves. We can use AIs like we almost used the atomic bomb a few times in the 20th century, like the Cuban Missile Crisis, or that heroic Russian who thought there were 5 American missiles on course to hit Russia, and all his electronic systems were telling him that, and he still decided, I am not going to fire back. Saved humanity right there, one person. We may be in that position again, where a single person more than once may save or not humanity through a decision of the moment. But since we survived before, I think we have a chance to survive this again. And if we do, it will be a dream for some, a nightmare for others, and for exactly the same reasons in both cases.
Wow. Well, thank you. That's a lot. Thank you. It's good. And it's funny that you said that. This is the last thing I'll say, is that I always try to tell my kids that too, that like this time feels different, even exactly what you said when I think about the past times, and everyone always feels like they're living in a special time, but I really do feel this is different. So thank you for
this is the special time. Every time is special, but at the same time not special, because they are all special. All right. But this time it is the special one. This time is unlike anything else before.
Wow.
These 80 years from 1970 to 2040 is like nothing that has ever happened before. And it's amazing how we get used to it. Look at us now, seeing each other across an ocean, live, in high resolution, with a bunch of other people taking part, as if it were nothing. Well, I grew up pressing buttons on a phone to call my friends, and only hearing their distorted voice because of the band pass filter that is in the phone. This would have been inconceivable for me as a kid. Here we are, and now we take it all for granted, of course. Now we have the totality of humanity's knowledge in our pocket, 24 hours a day. Just type a search on your phone. Next, we will have the totality of humanity's intelligence times a few million in our pocket. Just like we have electricity everywhere, water everywhere, internet everywhere. Well, superhuman intelligence everywhere. And it's around the corner. It's not even in the 2040s. So yeah, this is the Big Bang time. This is the decisive one right now. Yeah, we are living through it.
This was an excerpt from the weekly Q&A with Bernardo Kastrup, which you can join at withrealityinmind.com. You'll be able to see the full recording, unedited, as well as recordings from all our previous meetings. You'll also be part of a community where we together curate and propose questions for Bernardo and themes for him to address. Previous and future guests include people like Michael Levin, Christoph Koch, Rupert Spira, Patrick Harper, and you'll also have the opportunity to be in dialogue with Bernardo Kastrup if the community suggests your question as one of the ones that they would love to hear him talk more about. So you can find us again at withrealityinmind.com.